thought it'd be fun to come on and do a sort of unboxing, sort of just chit chat video of what I got in my Stampin' Up! Starter kit that came in the mail this week. Um, I've been a fan of Stampin' Up! For a while, and my friend Brian used to sell it, and I don't think is in the business anymore. And then at my local crop, I met a new friend named Jenna, who has been in Stampin' Up! For a while. And then they also did a sort of a starter kit thing that a deal where you basically got all their new ink colors for free. So that's why I decided to jump in, and I thought it would be fun to play with some new products. I also really wanted to get into more elegant florals this year, just because similar to grunge, it's just not a thing I ever got into initially, because I was much more, I guess, connected to themes of like whimsical things I remembered from being a kid. So, anyway, this is sort of an unboxing, sort of a hey, if you're considering doing this, this is what comes in the box. The box is 99 bucks, and you get to pick your own product, basically, which is one of the things I like because so many of the like starter kit things, or even bundles for that matter, like you don't have much control over what's actually in the bundle. I guess the other thing I'll answer quickly before I get started, if you're just here for the 411, is I don't think this is going to really alter the content on the channel at all. Basically, other than kits, none of my projects or streams are all that product specific. The only difference is you'd see different links in the description box below. And if you're interested in Stampin' Up! Stuff, there are links there. And the first thing this comes with, which is great for stamping and my cats, is a lot of bubble wrap. There is a ton of bubble wrap. The box is ridiculously large for the actual things that I bought. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a reason behind that. Also, Lennox is here, as you can see from the paw. So he will help us inspect all the things that we get. Um, I do have some catalogs that I'm probably never going to use for anything because I'm much more of an online person. So if anyone does want a current Stampin' Up! Catalog and you're seeing this before whatever, May 2025, let me know. I might have one. I'm more than happy to mail it to you. Anywho, with all that out of the way and Lennox coming to greet our delightful new product, let's see what we got. And I'm just going to pull stuff in no particular order. So let's start out with I was really interested to try this is a die set and hybrid embossing folder that goes with the ocean stamps. Let me grab those. It is the Seaside Wishes ones. I really like these because I remember picking up, well, mostly, well, I'm not picking up any of these things, but hoping to find these things at the beach when I was a kid and went to visit my grandparents in Florida. As you probably saw the Graphic 45 paper I picked up, I am very much a fan of the ocean. And I think those two things will work fabulously together. I am aware that most of the Stampin' Up! Content online tends to be Stampin' Up! By itself, and I think that makes sense from the standpoint of, you know, showcasing a specific product, but I like a lot of products, so I'm sure that they will all be working together quite happily. If you're interested in, and I will make notes as to sort of where stuff's coming from, if that's of interest to you guys. Anyway, this is the actual embossing folder. Three labels of packaging later. As you can see, it makes this really cool sand dollar kind of background, which I think would be really neat to do out of vellum. I've been seeing a lot of neat vellum stuff lately, as well as also neat use of acetate as sort of element. Actually, I don't know why I'm putting this back. I never keep any of my stuff in the packaging, but this is it feels a little thicker. It's a little thicker and bigger than a standard Spellbinders folder. It's much smaller than their Club Kids of the Month ones that are just half a sheet of paper. Um, looks pretty nice. I do like that they have a marker so you can tell which the front end is. So this is sort of the emboss side, and then or the deboss side, I guess, and then this is the emboss side because the back pushes up and the front pushes down. I think that makes sense. It's nice that there are different bits on each side. I'm going to be really interested to see how this works out. Anyway, super excited for these things just because of I love the ocean. The folder also comes with the dies to cut stuff out. I'm not going to go in detail into the stamps because you can see what they look like on the cover after I, again, deal with 6 layers of packaging. So much packaging in the world. Like, it would be nice if we could just simplify that. Anyway, this comes with this main die that basically sits inside the folder. And I had a lot of difficulty. I'm curious how well this locks in. So let me just humor myself for a moment. Because typically, what I've had some issues with these kind of folders are that this doesn't really, these sometimes don't lock in all that well. So I think, I'm not sure if this locks in to the top or the bottom. I think I have this backwards too. No, I think I had it correct the first time. Yeah, it must lock into this side. And there's sort of a groove. You can definitely tell when it's in, which is nice. It doesn't like adhere in any way. I mean, although you could obviously put like a glue dot on the back, but essentially you would get this into the groove and then put your paper on top and then close the folder and then run it through whatever machine you're using. Since this happens on the top side, like obviously it just falls out, but because these are the sand dollars are lifted up enough where I don't think this will be an issue, but we will see if we can put this back. It gets a little bit easier. I'm probably going to remount all this stuff on magnets. You do get some neat swoopy pieces, which I think would be pretty cool for doing a seascape. I did pick up some of the other ocean related things just because it's a big thing that I enjoy. I'm already 9 minutes in, so this will probably be a long video, but you can feel free to jump around as you would like. Uh, we got some cool note cards that say "Love what you do." I do like the outside, and I feel like this might be reusable outside of the context of Stampin' Up because you could definitely cut off these borders and use them. I feel like a lot of this sort of more marketing material stuff will be more useful to me in a deconstruction fashion. And I think because these are on a clear background or like a light background, I'm curious if you could like scan and cut some of these flower elements out. Because if you could, that would be pretty cool. Because I could see using these just as elements by themselves. But I'm not that much of an in-person person, so I don't think I'll ever have the need for these. These are the this year's colors. You get a pink. You get this color that I'm really excited about, which is the peach pie. As you know, I love ginger, which is a reddish brown in the Catherine Pooler line. So to me, this is very similar. It's sort of a cooked peach color in real life. It's read differently on different people's cameras to me. Then we have the green, which is Shy Shamrock, the blue, which is um, Summer Splash. The blue and the green look very close on camera. They look less close. Actually, they don't on my camera, but I've seen them look almost identical on camera before. And then the purple is Petunia Pop, which is hard to see on this side. This was included as a freebie, and I really do. I like the stripes and the leaf pattern the best, I think. But a lot of these other ones are kind of nice to have. The dots are cute. And then there's more of a, I don't know, more of a subtle pattern that would be pretty nice to use. I think these will work well in concert with each other. Like I could see I have a project coming up that involves using different patterns together. So I think this might be really good for that. Um, anyway, I was not aware of that you could basically get pattern paper in all of the color families with Stampin' Up, but it kind of makes sense. In a similar vein to those cards we just looked at are these You're Invited. Again, I think you could make use of these for other things. I think especially if you like cut off the Stampin' Up logo, etc. These are basically postcards that you could send to somebody for marketing purposes. If anyone is watching and has specific use for any of those two, like more marketing-y things, let me know. Because I don't know that I will. Anyway, here are the new ink pads. Oop. I just disturbed Linux. And I actually was so my initial exposure to the Stampin' Up! Ink pads, I don't know if I have one in front of me, was the actual little mini cubes, and they use a similar ink setup as the distressed oxides in terms of being a felt pad. So, like, wow, when I just drop things. We're all right. But so they sort of work like this. The big ones use foam pads, and I like them a lot bigger, a lot better. Um, because I am much more of a foam pad person. See in the ink, you see that there are really different colors, but if you have them just sort of in a composition, I don't know that they are. These are actually pretty weighty, which makes me happy. I think that these pads are going to probably have a good bit of ink. They come shrink wrapped, of course, and then they have a bunch of labels on the bottom that you can go and reapply, and numbers and packaging and whatnot. So these actually have little divvy things on them, so the sort of top of one will nest to the bottom of the other. So you can basically keep them all in a stack if you're working, which I think is nice. I like that about the Catherine Pooler inks quite a bit. I will just leave those over there as I work around the cat, as per normal. So here are the two other stamp sets I got as part of my initial $125 of picking things out. Again, I'm sticking with the beach theme for pretty much everything. I also really have been liking dual layer stamps, so I think this sea turtle one is super neat. You get some bubbles, seaweed, all the things, both a big and a little turtle. Um, and then this is a nice sort of beach scene here. And I like that this one comes with a bunch of sentiments. Um, I like wishing you a beautiful day and I like the sending sunshine because that's one I get a lot of use out of. And then obviously here you can make a fun little beach scene. And since there isn't like a specific beachy, like if you didn't have dyes to make a beach, similar to snowbanks or clouds or all that stuff, you can always just freehand cut them. The thing I've generally liked about the Stampin' Up! Dies is that, like, in addition to sort of some outline dies, you almost always get some additional pieces, which is nice that you don't have to generally buy two different sets. See, this is cool because you get your beach die, and this is pretty long. It is one, two, three, four, five. It's about 6 inches long, so you could cover a whole 4x6 or an inset 5x7 quite nicely. Obviously, you get all the pieces to make your lifeguard house if you so desire. But you're also but you're also getting an additional fence and some palm trees and both the waves and the beach to really like turn this into a scene. So while this is an outline die, you have like an additional piece you could put on top and some other stuff. So I like that it's sort of an all-in-one die set where you're not having to buy coordinating dies and then an additional die set. Um, I think long term, I'm probably going to remount a lot of this on some of my magnet sheets because I've been enjoying keeping dies that way. Let's see, we have a cat in the box. We have something else. What is. Oh, and we have. What are these? Oh, and then we have some order forms. Again, additional marketing stuff. I don't think I will use those. If you have a use for them, drop me an email. Um, There's always a link in the description, but it's just j@craftbyj.com. And here are the same colors. I guess we could look at these because I'm curious. I'm guessing these are exact matches with this paper. Whoops. Let's just check. Yeah, these are exact tonal matches. So we probably don't need to pull this out, but this was an additional freebie. It was kind of wild because and then this was the last freebie. I'm really curious how these markers actually work. This is getting a bit long, so I'll probably just use these in a project, but these are water-based markers, which I haven't used in a long time. I've been mostly using the alcohol markers. And then I also came with a free paper pumpkin Looking at his artwork, I believe this is an autumn kit. We'll definitely be doing this to take a look at it. I was subscribed and did a number of kits around the holidays, but I haven't been in a while. So I think it'll be cool to look at this one. This is not a kit I had, but this is the kit before the kit I got. It was sort of there, as I recall, it was last year's kit that released around the same time as the autumn paper that sold out almost immediately. But anyway, I think that this that design we're seeing in the background here is very indicative of how the kit will look. So I'll leave it sealed because I think it's always fun to just open the kits and do them all at once. But there is that. So that's all the stuff I got. So basically, I got like 200 and something dollars worth of stuff for 99 bucks. So I was happy about that. I am excited about doing a bajillion ocean themed things in the future. And if you've gotten to the end of the video, thanks. I appreciate it. Any questions or if any of the things that I am not going to use you could make use of, feel free to drop me a link or a note in the description or email me or whatever. Anyway, talk to you guys later and have a fantastic rest of your Friday.